We do what's called drip irrigation.
Okay.
So this is a big, 6-inch line, fills up, and then runs the little 3/4-inch lines all the way through to do drip.
I'll text you and tell me if you don't.
Wow.
And we can walk up. Actually, we can walk right in right here. Let's see the end of the.
Is this as high as it's going to grow?
Yeah. Yep. So it stopped growing up and now just putting on seed. So walk right in here. We'll get to experience the jungle.
I never thought
Cool.
my high school self would be really happy.
Come on in, Cal, back up here, and I'll give you a little. Just plow right through it. Yeah.
What do you call it, a jump off?
Did you start through?
Well, no. I don't know, maybe.
Push right in the back there, and then I can talk to everybody about it. You kind of get the full experience from the. Oh my God! Look at this. Pretty cool. So if you notice that a lot of these stalks are pretty much the same size now. You got some bigger, some smaller. What happens is when we plant this, it grows up to about here. By the time it's about 2 foot tall, the canopy is completely blocked out the sun to the ground. So if you look around here, see any weeds? They're all dead at a short height. So it killed all the weeds. So we don't use herbicides to kill weeds. We use blockage of sun. So now these weeds never got to go to seed. So the next season, you don't have to use herbicides on whatever crop you're going to grow, whether you're going to grow hemp again or whether you're going to grow tomatoes or cotton, or a lot less herbicides now have to be used. So in the beginning, when these were growing, let me just do this one. This was the center was much bigger. So this is now filled in with herd, and about the same ratio on all of these. You'll see all the herd that fills in on this.
Okay.
And then the fiber, again, this is one of the things Tom's working on right now, is getting green decortication. So this is decorticating. I'm pulling the fiber, off of the herd. So green decortication is great because it's wet and it peels right off, as where when it's dry, the lignins want to stick that fiber to the herd.
That's that picture that I said you earlier. That that green decortication that was degummed in China, which we need to be doing that here. That's what I keep saying. You haven't seen that. What's your name again?
Dennis.
Dennis.
So they'll take bales and they'll put them in a vat and they'll use enzymes, basically sodium chloride, and then heat and pressure, and that'll take the lignin out. So wood pulp, you have to take the lignin out of the wood pulp for it to turn into paper, because that lignin's like glue. It'll mess up the rollers in a factory when they're making paper. So the guys that started practicing trying to run hemp in a paper factory completely screwed up the paper
just like these
factory.
peel off there.
So they won't do that.
That's
now.
what it
That's
ends
why
up, huh?
there's no paper being made from hemp on scale in America, because you have to have a dedicated setup to do it. You have to get the lignin out. Now, paper can be made from the fiber or the herd. So the herd makes a really soft paper, like your toilet paper. The fiber makes a really good, like cardboard. And so, and blends of in between. So like a really nice, like all the original Bibles were printed in hemp. That's why they're still around hundreds of years later. So, our Declaration of Independence, written on hemp. That's
here's their comment.
big difference.
Our flags.
Here's a video of the
All our flags.
Yeah, I know Thomas Jefferson grew hemp.
I was waiting to ask this question.
Remind me about Thomas Jefferson, because I got a really good story about that.
Why don't you guys sell American flags made with hemp?
Again, we're growers, processors. We want the next generation to go make stuff from it. So we don't have spinners in America. Spinners is what takes the fiber and turns it into thread. So Tom at the gin will take that fiber, get it off the plant, comb it, so it can bale it, and then send it to a spinner. Well, we offshored all of our spinners in America 20 years ago.
They're still,
Small scale, nothing commercially viable.
Cotton bales. There's 3 to 4 million bales that are clothing that make them the yarn here on the East Coast, and about 15 million bales exported to China and India. So it's all about labor and cost of throughput. we flipped here in the U.S. And when I started 40 years ago, it was just the opposite. We milled 15 million bales and exported about 3. Now we only mill 3 million and export 15, depending on the year. So it's all, everything is upside down here.
But you can feel, so on a hot day, you'll feel a 20-degree difference in here. You get in here and it's just amazing. So I've been out here with the coyotes. Coyotes love this. The bees, so when the male pollen from the flowers,
You hear them?
I do
Yeah.
hear them.
you
They're
can
at the very
still,
top.
so you can still hear them now, but this is nothing like what it was when they started popping with the pollen and the flowers. It was literally, I mean, you stand, hey, you'd be covered in them. Just, you know, you'd have 20 bees on you at once. And they're happy because they're eating a natural product that'll increase their lifespan by up to 40%. So we
Did
can
you tell
save
them
the
that,
bees.
Wade?
Hmm?
Did you tell the bees that?
They know it. That's why they're here. I want to find who's got the beehives and go get some of this bee honey.
Well, there's somebody around here somewhere.
Somebody's got some hives because this place was filled with somebody's bees. We didn't bring them in. That's huge because that's really good honey and it's healthy for the bees. So Thomas Jefferson went to China under penalty of death. Had he been caught, he smuggled back hemp seeds, knowing that America needed hemp seeds, not thinking that it would ever be illegal. That was never, you know, they never thought of that. They just knew that America thrived on having hemp. You see this purple stalk behind you?
Yeah.
So that's a genetic trait that just naturally happens. So that's a female. So it can happen in male or female, but you'll get that purple genetic. So in cannabis industry,
All these dry ones that are turning there, that's the male.
That's
They're-
the male, huh?
yep,
Yeah,
they're the ones
they're
with the flowers.
drying up.
They're done.
And
They've
this is
done
the-
their duty,
This is
yeah.
the first time I've done this. We did a little bit of this just to experiment in 2021. We took it down by hand. With some help I have, they cut the top 2 or 3 foot off to get the seed, and we put it on tarps and dried it, and actually planted a year ago.